Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for the Tech Guy is provided by CacheFly. CacheFly.com. Hi, this is Leo Laporte, and this is my Tech Guy podcast. This show originally aired on the Premier Radio Networks on Sunday, March 24th, 2013. This is episode 964. Enjoy. The Tech Guy podcast is brought to you by Hulu Plus. Watch as many TV shows as you want, anytime, anywhere, on your devices, all streamed instantly to you. Visit huluplus.com/twit to start your free 2-week trial. That's huluplus.com/twit. And by ShareFile. Enhance your workflow. Send files of almost any size, easily and securely with ShareFile by Citrix. Try ShareFile today for a 30-day free trial. Go to sharefile.com, click the radio microphone, and enter Tech Guy. And by Ring Central. I do everything in the cloud. That's why I love my cloud-based phone system from Ring Central. 0 startup cost, and Ring Central is $20 per month per user. Try it now with a 30-day risk-free trial. And when you buy one desk phone, you'll get a second phone free, up to 20 phones total. Call 800-543-9980 or visit ringcentral.com and use the promo code TWIT. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the Tech Guy. And it's time to talk about computers and the internet and cell phones and home theater, digital photography, too, with our digital photography guru, Chris Marquardt, next hour. What's on your mind? Let's talk about it. Questions, suggestions, comments, all welcome at 8888 Ask Leo. 888-827-5536. That's toll free from anywhere in the U.S. Outside the U.S., use your Skype and call me. I'm here for you, baby. And we have a great chat room. You can join us in the chat room. All the stuff that you need, including the phone number, the chat room, and notes from all the shows is available at the website. It's probably the best place to go, techguylabs.com. Just remember that. If you hear something on the show and you say, what was that? Well, just go to techguylabs.com and all will be revealed. All is there, thanks to our show notes takers, James Veruvo, Josh Windich here in my office. They know all, they tell all. So I hope we talked about it yesterday, but I'm going to mention it again because I don't want anybody to miss it. Turn on your second factor authentication on your Apple ID. Apple had kind of a nasty week. They turned on something that's good. It's two-factor authentication. That means a password plus a code from your smartphone in order to log into your Apple account and buy stuff on iTunes, things like that. That's good. That's, your bank should do that. Anywhere where Google Mail does that, where you just don't want anybody to. Facebook's even doing it now. In fact, wherever you can do that, you should probably turn that on. If you use the Facebook app on your smartphone, there's a code generator built into it, but they will also send you a text message. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't work if you don't have a cell phone. I guess that's why it took a while for this stuff to roll out. As good as it is in terms of security, it's kind of useless, and so you don't have to turn it on if you don't have a cell phone. Google's solution actually is better because they will call you. A robot will call you and say, your code is 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, she doesn't sound like that, but that's a good way to do it. Have Google call you. Anyway, it was not a good week for Apple because as soon as they turned that on, somebody discovered, it's easy to steal somebody's Apple ID. All you need to know is their birthday and their email address. Whoops. Oops. That's not so good. Apple turned off the I Forgot website where you go to if you forget your ID. And I guess they fixed it. It's turned back on. Apple has had a nasty time with security of late. 3 different iOS updates in a row, each with their own security issues. If somebody got your iPhone, it was possible to bypass the passcode and just use your phone to make phone calls, things like that. I think they fixed it. They're up to 6.1.3 now. I think it's fixed. Meanwhile, Apple has bought a company. John Gruber said, it was funny, he's an Apple blogger. He said it cost 3 hours of Apple profits. Wow, that's big money. $20 million for a company called Wi-Fi Slam. They do indoor GPS. Indoor location. I guess it wouldn't technically be GPS because it doesn't work indoors. I guess it would supplement your GPS using Wi-Fi signals inside a building. It's always been a problem with GPS. You go indoors and you can't. But Google's been doing a great job of mapping convention centers, malls, and I guess Apple wants to get into that already. Google does airports, sports venues. So Apple says, yeah, we ought to do that too. And others are saying, yeah, we ought to do what Apple's doing too. So Samsung and Google both apparently have watch projects. So there's the iWatch. All of this is just rumor, right? Speculation that there was going to be an Apple iWatch. But that didn't stop Samsung and Google from saying, yeah, we got one too. And then Apple says, and yeah, we got glasses too. It's because of Google's Glass project. And all of this, none of this is available. It's just very interesting. Dell is apparently up for grabs. The Dell Computer Company. Michael Dell, the founder, wanted to buy it back with help from an investment company. Now Carl Icahn, the maverick investor, that's what they call him, activist investor, has said Blackstone Group and I are going to try to buy Dell. I don't talk about finance too much. This is probably just an attempt to get the stock price up. Who knows, though? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. It's beyond me. According to the Next Web and a company called Metro Store Scanner, Windows Store has 50,000 apps. The Windows Store is that thing you use in Windows 8 to buy... Well, Microsoft doesn't want us to call them Metro style, modern style, I think, or modern UI apps. The Metro apps. 50,000 apps. That doesn't mean they're good. But then the counts are meaningless on all the other app stores, too, where, 250,000 apps on the Android and iPhone stores. 250,000, but how many of them are apps you want? And how many of them are just flashlight and fart apps? Not together. Nobody's done that together yet. And Google might get in trouble with this Google Glass, and maybe rightly so. West Virginia lawmakers have introduced a bill that would prohibit drivers from making a spectacle of themselves. You can't wear glass while you drive. Okay. I guess that's reasonable. Depends how distracting glass is. I think one of the reasons Google created glass is because it's what we call a heads-up display. You could do that and drive. Instead of looking down at your smartphone, which Google founder Sergey Brin says is emasculating. Who knew? I've been doing that I've been emasculated by looking at my phone. That was a strange thing to say. I don't know. Kodak, as you know, went to Chapter 11. It's sad, very sad. Now the photo service Shutterfly is suing to shut down an app from Kodak that lets users purchase photo albums from pictures on Facebook. See, Shutterfly bought the Kodak Gallery last year, and as part of the deal, Kodak said, we're never doing anything similar. Now they are. Apparently, My Kodak Moments violates that agreement. Just another nail in the coffin for Eastman Kodak. 8888 asked Leo, did you follow this crazy? I don't know if I want to talk about it. Crazy story. A couple of programmers, programmers are geeks. They made some jokes. They were at a programming conference called PyCon. They made some jokes, inappropriate jokes about dongles and forking, which are both technical terms, but they, of course, played with the words, and there was a blogger sitting in front of them who didn't like those jokes. She turned around, took a picture of the two of them. One of them got fired as a result. I haven't heard the jokes, but we've made the same jokes. Say the word dongle, and somebody's going to make a joke. One of them got fired, and then the blogger, actually she wasn't a blogger, she was maybe this is why she got fired, developer relations person for a company, a person whose job it was to make nice with developers, get them to write software for the company. That company fired her for posting the picture. Childishness all around, obviously. Very high school. But an interesting point, which is that you better be careful what you say, because somebody could turn around and take a picture of you. It could cost you your job. So chat room, I'm just warning you, okay? 8888 Ask Leo, that's my number. Let's talk tech. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Forking and dongles. I don't know what to make of it. I almost didn't do this story, but I just thought it was kind of funny. Hey, do you have a crystal ball?
I would,
the
Thank
kind
you.
that tells you you're about
Thank
to
you
have
very, very much.
No, I don't either. I wish I did.
There is a fart and flashlight app on the Apple Store, so you better get going, Windows Store.
I want to make sure my files
Because-
are always backed up, automatically, continually. And that's so important, because, the truth is most people...
Fart and
don't
Flashlight by
back up
Laporte.
as often as they should. Many never.
89 euros. No, 80.89.
Files will be backed up to the cloud whenever you're connected.
It's about time. By the way, only one screenshot. It's really pretty much that's the app right there. How can they charge for that?
Or tablet with a free Carbonite app. Unlimited backup space for your PC or your Mac. Just $59 a year.
Okay.
Run a small business. Carbonite has plans to back up all your computers, servers.
Oh, lordy, lordy. Arrest that man.
You don't need a credit card. Just my name, Leo.
Yeah.
Carbonite.com. Use the offer code.
Oh, Lord.
Epson projectors showcase amazing color brightness.
Samsung has apologized for its Galaxy S4 announcement. Oh, that's good. Oh. Just one more way of getting more attention, right? Well, we're sorry. We're sorry. Oh, there's the sound. That wasn't me. Oh, let me launch my call screening software here. He can do it during commercials. Is he listening? So he'll know when it's commercials. Make all the noise you want, Victor. As soon as you hear the music coming back, then you'll know. Dr. Mom, did you make soup? Chicken noodle soup? PyCon is a hardcore programmers conference. You don't go to PyCon unless you're pretty much of a hardcore geek. Or a developer evangelist, I guess. It's kind of embarrassing all around, isn't it? This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. They probably thought, oh, the weekend, Sunday, nobody will be there. It's a good time to do this kind of stuff is on the weekends. Sure, nobody be here on the weekends. What could possibly be going on? All right, I got the call screening up. You have to, I guess you, I don't know why, but if I get the call screening up after you've entered stuff, it doesn't show it. I don't, did you hit return, Kyle? Is that what you do? Yeah, see, I see Max and ebook.
I think he's going to add a period. Nathan's doing phones.
Oh, adding a period. Clever. Clever. Yeah, that works. Adding a period works. They're starting to come in now. Wow, that's interesting. This software is so old. It's copyright 2000, I think. About. Let's see. Assistant producer 3.517, copyright 2001.
Copyright 2001. But that's why it's running on a 2003 XP machine. Perfectly happy. No, Jeff Jawa, that is not our special fart light app. That's the electrician in the basement. Okay, you can stop now.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more.
How dare you make dongle jokes in my presence?
And don't you come back no more.
You're through here.
And don't you come back no more, no more, no more.
Leo Laporte, the tech guide. Hit the road, Jack. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. As Jerry Rigged in our chat room says, who hasn't made a dongle joke? The word begs to be joked about. Now, I didn't hear the jokes. Maybe they were horrifically offensive. I don't know. But I think the standard rule in polite company is first you turn around and you shoot daggers at them with your eyes. That's the first thing you do. Not take a picture of them and post it on the internet. But just, I don't want to wade into this controversy. That's not my point. My point is more that hey, everybody has a camera phone now, and there's nothing to stop them from taking a picture of you, posting it on the internet, and who knows what could happen. You could lose your job. So I guess we all just have to walk around on eggshells from now on in public, because you never know. You never know and this particularly applies to teenagers, because I think we kind of assume that what we're doing is somewhat, even if it's in a school hallway or out in the street, is somewhat private. I mean, but nowadays it's not, and everybody has a camera phone, and everybody's posting to Facebook and Instagram, and this stuff lives forever. Lives forever. So. I guess what I would say is I agree with Java Junkie in our chat room. Public shaming via social media, not a good idea. I'd kind of agree, unless somebody's really egregious and out of control and there's no other way to stop them. Then it's a very valuable tool. But also, we should be aware of the unfortunate fact we're all on camera now. All the time. Max in Los Angeles, Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Max.
Hello, Leo.
Hey, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm well. Welcome.
Thank you. I have a question. I have an iPad second generation with the current software and connected to an iMac with the latest update as well.
Okay.
When I connect it to my computer now, it doesn't come up on iTunes. It comes up on it shows that it's connected in iPhoto, but not in iTunes.
So iPhoto launches, it says, here's your pictures, but iTunes does not.
Correct.
And have you checked to make sure, you said you got the updates, but you do have the latest iTunes, right? You need to have iTunes 11 now.
I do. I even checked and restarted my computer, rechecked for updates.
So there's one more thing you should do when you connect your iPad. Does it show up at all? If you launch iTunes, do you then see your iPad in iTunes? Because there's a setting, if you can see it, there's a setting that says launch iTunes when this device is connected. So if iTunes may not launch, but if you see it in iTunes when you do launch iTunes, then just turn on that setting that says, automatically launch iTunes. One of the reasons they've stopped kind of making a big deal of that is because you can now do it over Wi-Fi. In fact, I see here on when I just plugged in my iPad, I don't have the open iTunes when this iPad is connected. So you can check that box. You can also check the box that says sync with this iPad over Wi-Fi. So have you checked those settings, Max, or does the iPad not show up at all when you connect it?
I have the settings on the iPad or the iMac?
It would be on the iPad itself. So in other words, iTunes doesn't launch automatically, but you can still launch it manually. And do you see under devices your name of your iPad?
On the iPad, I do. and I just tried connecting it now, and it with iTunes not open, and it didn't launch iTunes.
Okay, I understand. But when you're in iTunes, on the sidebar on the left there, under devices, do you see the iPad?
No.
Okay. So you don't see the iPad as a device at all.
No.
And you know that you have to manually turn on this sidebar. So make sure under View you show the sidebar, because the new iTunes, they've hidden that, right? So go to View, show sidebar, and then scroll down and make sure that you don't see that device. Do you have any other iDevices like an iPhone or anything else?
An iPod Nano, and that does come up.
That does come up. Okay, that's good. So yeah, I mean the fact that it launches iPhoto means that the computer is seeing it, and you're looking in the sidebar right now under devices, and you see the Nano, but you don't see the iPad.
What are your devices?
It's under.
Yeah, I don't see the. Right now, I only have my iPad connected, and I don't see the iPad.
Okay. So one thing you can do, it might just be that the iPad needs to be reset, which is first turn it off. You know how to turn it off. You hold down the on-off button until it says slide to turn off. You turn it off. If that doesn't work, then there's a little bit harder reset, which is to hold the home button on the iPad and the on-off switch at the same time for about 5 to 10 seconds. And then you'll see that little white apple pop up after you let go. That means you've reset the whole thing. Try that. And, of course, it wouldn't hurt to reboot. Now, see, the chat room's making a lot of dongle jokes. Now, you knocked that off. You knocked that off. So I think resetting the iPad is all I can recommend. You should see it. And the fact that that iPhoto's launching is a good sign. I'm just wondering if you've turned it off in iTunes, and that's why it's not launching. But if you can't see it, well, that's bad. Jeff in Westchester, New York. You're next. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Leo. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, doing great, thanks. Quick question. I just upgraded my Cablevision internet service to their Boost Plus, which is like 50 megabits down and 8 up.
Yeah, 50 megabits in what we call burst. But go ahead. I'll explain what that means.
Okay.
Doesn't stay
so
50 megabits.
That's on my laptop. I'm getting that.
Yeah.
Exactly what they advertise, 50-something down, like 51 down and 8 up. When I do it on my iPad and iPhone, I'm still only getting like 18 down.
Yeah, that's Wi-Fi for you.
On both the iPad and the iPhone.
Yeah, that's Wi-Fi for you. Is the computer Wi-Fi or is it hardwired?
No, the laptop, iPad, and iPhone are all on Wi-Fi.
Huh. Yeah, that's not unusual. The truth is you're not going to get 50 anyway. The way all these companies work is with this Boost technology is it's a burst mode, which means it'll be 50 for the first few seconds, and then it will slow down for and all you really care about is sustained throughput. The burst mode's nice if because web pages pop up because they're just you can load them pretty quickly. But anything long like a download, it's going to go back down. Make sure also now is your router 802.11n?
Yes.
Okay, and your laptop probably is.
Yeah.
Depending on, I'm not sure when they put N into the iPads.
It's the newest iPad.
It is the newest. Well, I'm pretty sure that has BG and N. So, this is not unusual. I see this all the time.
Is there a test that you can run better than that speedtest.net that shows?
No, speed test is. That's the problem with speed test. It doesn't show sustained throughput. It shows burst. Speed test is fine. I think you're fine. You're getting 18 megabits. That's probably more than you can use. And I don't think that that's unusual. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. They're still making dongle jokes. Is your dongle inserted? I think that I'm surprised that he's seeing 50 on his laptop, to be honest with you. Does anybody in the chat room on Wi-Fi get 50 on their iPad? Let me just see what we're getting here on this. Should I just do a bunch of dongle jokes? I don't know if speed test is on here. Yeah, it is. Well, let's just see. Let's just see what we get here. I don't know what
How fast is our production network? Is it real? It's on. No, production isn't on the fiber, is it? This is the new speed test, by the way. You can 30. Well, let's just see what we're gonna get here. Boing, boing. That's the ping. Download 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Holy moly! We're getting 28 megabits. We're pegged it. 30 megabits down. Let's see what our upload speed is. 3.5, 4. We're not in burst mode. We're on business fiber, baby. So I guess the iPad's capable of 30. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Why is his iPad so slow? This isn't even the latest iPad. This is iPad third generation. Let me try my... do I have my iPhone? No, I don't have my iPhone. I have my Android. Let's try my Android phone. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Speed test. Finding closest server. Begin test. I'm on the same network. My experience with portable devices is they don't necessarily get the full throughput, right? Yeah, see, this is only getting about 7.4 megabits up. I mean, down. Okay, so I got 7.5 megabits down and 11 megabits up. Oh, no, 11 megabits up. So, speed test. There you go. There you have it. There you have it. There's a new version of the dongle joke. Oh, no, a new version of speed test. I know. I have it on my iPad. I don't know why I don't have it on here. Let's see if I have an update on the Play Store. I'm up to date. I guess I haven't updated on Android. Chris Marquardt, 12:30, huh? Assignment review. I didn't take any pictures of ice. 36 on desktop, 34 on iPad. Yeah, Anonymous has been. Oh God! Don't get me started on them. Anonymous took down the Adria Richards company's site. That's just ridiculous. But see, Anonymous isn't anybody. Anonymous is some guy, right? Gina's not upset about the jokes. Gina is upset about the fact that Adria Richards is now being attacked. A complete overreaction to the whole mess.
Okay, Leo, carbonite your billboard.
Thank you, sir. My God, I'm getting 56 kilobits. I see stars. Boing, boing. I can do that manually. Boing, 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 ding. We got an electrician working downstairs. Every once in a while, you might hear Victor Teisch Electric doing something. He's installing power for our new call screener station. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. And Burke just handed me his business card. When you're in a fix, call Vix. And I love it because it's a picture of a kid sticking a knife in a plug socket. Victor's the greatest. Victor wired this whole studio. And, you know, despite the fact that I have poured coffee down every orifice in the floor, spilled water, my dog has used every electrical socket here. That's from his van? Oh, that's great. That's in his van. The kid's sticking the left fork in there. We have not had a single short out, single failure. The Brick House Studio, the Tech Guy Labs
has the best power in the business. We also have pretty good internet, and I just ran, because I was curious on my iPad, speed test, and I got 30 megabits down and 4 megabits up, and then I ran it just out of curiosity on my Galaxy Note 2 Android phone, and I got 7.5 megabits down, same Wi-Fi connection, and 11 megabits up. And I guess what that points out is that these speed tests are all over the place, one, because bandwidth varies. You know, you'd think when you buy, Cablevision Boost, 30 megabits, or I guess he said 50 megabits, right? That you'd get 50 megabits. Well, no, it's, it's in the, it could be that, it could be something else. It just varies. It is weird that your computer might be getting more than your iPad. 18 megabits is not bad for an iPad. I don't know what you would do with more. I have more on my iPad, but oftentimes when you have bandwidth like that, it's faster than the places you're going. I just don't know. I'm not sure why the iPad is slower than the desktop or the notebook computer. I just don't know. Is it always that way? Does it vary, sometimes faster, sometimes slower? I think 18 megabits is probably all you need. Probably all you need. Could be distance from the Wi-Fi. I presume that you've gone right up next to it and tried, different things. I'm looking at our chat room is doing the speed test and coming up with also a wide variety. But it is, I guess the point I would make is that the iPad is capable of at least 30 megabits, because that's what I'm getting on my iPad on our very fast connection here. Our connection's faster than that, though, by the way. 30 megabits is how fast the 802.11n. That's probably at the theoretical limit of 802.11n, I would guess. Remember, that's another thing that these Wi-Fi networks are spec'd at certain speeds, but you never will get that speed. Usually you get about half of the nominal speed. So there's 802.11 A, B, G, N, and AC is coming. And each time they're supposedly a little bit faster, but those are nominal speeds. So the data rate of 802.11n is theoretical 600 megabits, but you'd need 4 spatial antennas using all 40 megahertz of the channel. So it can vary. It can really vary, depending on how it's implemented, how it's set up. A better router might work better. And yes, it's odd, isn't it, that you would get so much faster on your notebook. But to me, it doesn't seem that odd. 802.11n in real terms is really more around, nominally 150, which means you probably could get 75 if you were using all 40 megahertz. If you're using only one band, if it's single band, 72 is the maximum, which means you're going to get more like 30. That's what I'm getting right now. That's probably the theoretical, not the theoretical maximum, but the real world maximum. Now, AC, which is still in draft, it won't be official probably till early next year, maybe a year from now, in theory, can get up to 87 megabits on a single channel. I always divide the theoretical max by half, and that's what you kind of typically get. This is true even on wired connections, on Ethernet. So on a 100 megabit Ethernet connection, hardwired, typical throughput about 50 megabits. Just divide it in half. 802.11 AC can use up to 440 megahertz bands for a massive 866 megabits. I don't know. And by the way, coming soon, 802.11 AD, which is 7 gigabits. But you probably have to stand right next to the thing. And you probably could cook beans next to the transmitter. So, 18 megabits, I wouldn't complain, Jeff. I understand you want more, but I think that's not unusual for a portable device. Bob in Pasadena, California. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Bob.
Leo, it's wonderful to talk with you.
Nice to talk to you.
I've got a website that I've created. You actually would probably like it. It's called cruiseportinsider.com.
Here come the plug. Here come the plug. Cruise Port Insider. Yeah, I'm a big cruiser. I love cruise ships. I see that the Carnival, the ship is back out, whatever they just sent it out today. Cruise Port Insider. Plan a day in port. Oh, this is good. So you're on a cruise ship. You're in a port. What's a good thing to do?
Exactly.
I like that.
So everything from soup to nuts, where to get inexpensive Wi-Fi, so on and so forth.
Fantastic.
Anyway,
This is very handy. Do you go on a lot of cruises?
Been on a lot of cruises, yeah.
Yeah. Not anymore? After that Carnival thing, that's it, huh?
Not Carnival ships.
Enough of them.
Exactly.
I'm going on a European cruise. I don't see any European port info here.
Not yet.
This fall.
It's all kind of Alaskan, Bahamian, and
Do you
Mexican Riviera, that sort of thing.
do you crowdsource this information? Because that would really make it good if you add additional information from people as they're there.
Am doing that, and also one of the parts of the thing, we're asking for people's opinions on the shore
Excursions. Yeah, that's always hit or miss depending on the cruise line.
Exactly.
And they can be very expensive.
It depends on the people that are actually taking you on the
Yes.
shore excursion itself.
It does, doesn't it?
So anyway, one of the things you know is when you're on a cruise ship, the internet connection is really slow.
Horrible. That's why I go on cruises, because I can then say, I won't be speaking to you for 2 weeks. Do not attempt to reach me.
Exactly.
I'm on a boat.
Well, one of the things that we've done is recognizing that I created a number of ebooks that basically takes all the content from each.
That's what you need.
port.
Yeah, so people can download it before they leave, and then they have it on their device.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the question that I've got for you is when I do this stuff through Amazon and upload the information to Amazon, it always asks a question about digital rights management.
Yeah.
And I know your opinion on digital rights management when it comes to music, but how about ebooks? What's your thought on that?
It's the same for everything. Movies, ebooks, music. I don't like it. And it's a very simple thing. I understand the desire, your desire, my desire, everybody's desire to protect their creations from theft. But digital rights management doesn't do that effectively. The pirates can always get around it. The only people who are ever slowed down by DRM are the legitimate owners. That's not right. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Does Amazon require DRM? Oh, I don't read the emails when I'm here either, Bruce, so it doesn't really
I've looked
matter.
in almost every
Bruce says, who
business
reads the
email
emails when you get back? I don't care. What do you mean? I don't read them when I'm here. Actually, that is that's a kind of a joke. I actually do read my my email. I don't guarantee a response, but I read every message and then ignore them. So I think that's fair. Let me log on to my Hulu. I want to talk to you about a new advertiser. Hulu. Hulu Plus. Have you played with Hulu Plus recently? You can get it on your computer, like here. You can also get it on your tablet. I have it on my iPad. And you can get it on your Apple TV. The new Hulu Plus interface on the Apple TV is gorgeous. Hulu Plus, what is it? Well, it offers unlimited instant streaming of current stuff. So it's a good adjunct to probably what you already have. It's the best way to get your favorite shows. And you can watch it on connected TVs, on Blu-ray players, gaming consoles like the PS3 and Xbox 360. As I mentioned, Apple TV, I've got it on my Roku, mobile phones, tablets, and, of course, computers. You can continue your viewing experience seamlessly, so you start watching on one device, then go to another. It continues where you left off. And you get all the current season hit shows, which is nice, from the Comedy Central, Fox, NBC, ABC, and more. I watch The Daily Show. I can't stay up late, so I watch The Daily Show, and the next day, every morning, when I'm getting up, I watch The Daily Show. Because I can't stay up late.
So it's great for The Office, Law and Order, The Colbert Report. I'm catching up with Parks and Rec. They've got movies, too, which is fun. And New Girl, which I haven't watched at all. Now I'm going to start watching because I missed it. I am a big fan of Hulu Plus, and all of this free for the next 2 weeks when you visit huluplus.com/twit. huluplus.com/twit. That's twice the normal viewing trial. But you have to use Hulu Plus, HULUPLUS.com/twit. Classic TV shows on here, full seasons of current shows. It really is great. Arrested Development's on here. All the Star Treks. All of them. And the quality's fantastic. HuluPlus.com/twit. We're really thrilled to have them on board. The Man Trap, Season 1, Episode 1. And always limited commercial interruptions when you have Hulu Plus. It's one of the things I like about it. HuluPlus.com/twit for your 2-week trial. Give it a try today. I'm a fan. They have exclusive shows, too, like Prisoners of War, says the chat room, and WWE Next, NXT. That's lovely. 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 Okay, here's another one for our Wi-Fi issue. Make sure the guy's iPad is set to use WPA2 AES. That's faster than the other two. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I do Hulu Plus and Netflix. That really gives me in fact, I just set up a TV. My mom's visiting. She's coming out tomorrow for a month. And so she's staying in my guest room. I just got a TV for her. Nice Vizio 42-inch. And we got the cable box in there, but I got the Roku 3 in there. That's even better. And nice for her because she's kind of deaf, so she puts the headphones on, plugs it into the remote, and she can turn it up way loud. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. One more hint from the chat room about getting the fastest Wi-Fi on your iPad. And I did not know this, and I can't verify it, but Cool Breeze says, use when you, of course, on your Wi-Fi access point, you're using encryption, right? That's you got to. And we always say use WPA encryption. That's the one that works. The best is WPA2 AES. And apparently that's faster. So make sure you're using that on your Wi-Fi access point. Your iPad will use that automatically. And apparently that's faster than the other WPA choices. Didn't know that. WPA2 AES, according to Cool Breeze, is faster. Let's talk about DRM. I want to finish up that call. I ran out of time. And I talk to a lot of book authors. And I don't know if Amazon requires DRM. Some bookstores do. Amazon might. But if they don't, I wouldn't. Because you're gonna get robbed blind anyway, unfortunately. That's the sad part. But I look at authors like Cory Doctorow. He's a really good example who hates DRM. And what Cory does is releases all his books, even the ones in hardcover that are printed by regular publishers, free on his website. And he says, look, I don't lose sales. I gain sales. This promotes it. People who love me and love my books want to support them and buy them. And I think that might be the new economy going forward. The bottom line is copy protection doesn't work. And copy protection only annoys people who bought your book, because then they can't move it around. They can't put it on other things. And in some ways, copy protection backfires, because what happens when people say, oh, I got this movie and I want to put it on my hard drive, but I can't because of copy protection, they go out and learn how to pirate it. What do? They go out and they learn how to crack it. So I just feel like it's an ineffective. I understand the need and the desire to protect your content. I totally do. It's one of the reasons that my stuff, all the stuff I do, is not hidden behind a paywall. I give away everything because I don't want to have to copy protect it. I don't want to have to, tell people, oh, you can't copy this. I just want everybody to have it as, and we make our money with advertising embedded in the content. That's one of the reasons I chose that model, so I wouldn't have to worry about copy protection. DRM will always get hacked. I don't know of any copy protection scheme that has not been hacked. Pirates know how to get around DRM, so if you're worried about piracy, DRM just doesn't work. And it only annoys the users. Look at the debacle that Electronic Arts has had with the new SimCity. They put out SimCity. We're so afraid of it getting stolen, and games really do get stolen like crazy. So afraid of it getting stolen that they require you, even though you're playing single player, to be online the whole time you're playing, so they can check, make sure that's you didn't steal that copy. It caused so much trouble when SimCity launched. Their servers were down all the time. People couldn't play the game they bought. That eventually Origin and Electronic Arts had to give people free games and a big apology. Now, I noticed they haven't gotten rid of the copy protection, and unfortunately, the gaming industry is the one place where copy protection doesn't seem to be going away. But it really caused problems, not for the pirates. No. In fact, it's widely available how to turn off this online requirement on SimCity. You can turn it off. The game plays faster. You don't have to worry about servers. And the single-player game is exactly the same because it's single-player. Everybody knows how to turn it off. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. Valerie in Victorville. Hi, Valerie. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hello.
So, how are you?
I'm well.
I'm a long-time fan.
Thank you.
I love. First of all, I love Windows 8.
I'm glad to get that data point. Because we hear from everybody who hates it. So you love it. Why do you love it?
Well, it's fast.
It is faster.
And I can set up all of the things that I use every day on tiles and just press the tiles.
Right.
And there was a little learning curve, and there are still some difficulties, but I managed to get around them. And all in all, I think it's really, really good.
When Microsoft came up with that tiled interface, first on Windows Phone, I thought it was really neat. I did like it. I agree with you, to have the data rotate through and stuff. The problem I have with Windows 8 is that you still have, it's like two operating systems. You still have desktop and you have this tiled interface. And I think in the long run, Microsoft's going to abandon the desktop and it's going to be all tiles. But it's got to get people used to that. And unfortunately, and this has always been the kind of the mixed bag for Microsoft, they've always got to support the older stuff. So the desktop isn't going to go away right away.
And that's sort of the question I have.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Surface tablet.
Great.
And I love that as well. And I got Windows Office 365,
right,
which is a subscription.
Yes.
To Word and so on. I've used Word ever since it came out.
Yeah, the new Office 2013 is $100 a year, and you get the web-based versions as well as the desktop versions for 5 computers. It's a really great deal, I think. I bought it too.
It is a great deal.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if it really is a great deal. And the question that I had as I turned your program on this morning, the question just popped into my mind.
Good, yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Is after the year, let's say I don't want to up the subscription fee. I use, with all due respect to your advertisers, I use an off-site backup as my main drive.
Okay.
And I don't keep any data on my various.
What do you use? SkyDrive? What do you use off-site?
I use iBackup.
iBackup.
And it has a drive that you can map as a.
That's cool. I'm not familiar with this one, but it allows you then to have a drive on your desktop that looks like it's local, but it's really off the internet.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a great idea because then you're always working. Yes, Microsoft SkyDrive does that. In fact, SkyDrive by default is where Office 2013 saves its documents. It doesn't save them to the hard drive by default.
Well,
Same idea, right? You always have a copy of your data available to you as long as you're online.
I'm an attorney, and I like to be as versatile as possible.
Right, right.
And in past years in California, certain kinds of law are form
Right.
intensive, and various companies provide forms.
Right.
You can get them off the internet.
Valerie, we're running out of time because we got to take a break at the top of the hour. Can you hang on for a few more minutes? We'll go through the news, and I'll come back, and we'll get to your question. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. You get a permanent failure on Leo at twit.tv, huh? We'll try Leo at leoville.com. Actually, you know who you should mail it to? Well, I don't know why I'm seeing that. Oh, man, in life today, we are so busy, so much to do, so many places to be. You know who you should mail it to is Karsten at Karsten at twit.tv. He is the producer of Triangulation. We'd love to get Patrick Rothfuss on. Jeffrey, lunch. I would love some lunch. I don't know. What do I want? I'll have to ask my tummy. Hey, tummy, what do you want? I'd like some sushi, please. Yes, please. Spicy tuna or salmon or something like that. Thank you. Well, bring me two. I'll have one right now. And one on the way to the hospital tonight. Really, Elmo? Oh, I'm so excited. I'm such a fan. I'm just finishing book 2 of the King Killer Chronicles, or day 2, I should say. Such a good book. And we'll plug his charity like crazy, Elmo. Whatever he wants. He's been on NSFW. He was very funny on NSFW. I think he'd be a very good guest for Triangulation. What is this, Truckee? Is this something I should play? Oh, Wozniak gets probation. This is old. Oh, he's telling a story. Yeah. Yeah. Good old Woz. Look how young he is.
Channel 7. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, will begin at 6 minutes past the hour.
He's talking at the Bureau of Mines.
I had books of math tables. I wanted to do anything I could think of doing on a computer.
He's the prototypical hacker. Yes, sir. Snell and Dvorak. Thank you, sir. Surf Boy, what is your tapped out handle? Yes, I do try the products, all the products before we have them as sponsors. You bet. And generally, I'm already a client, or we wouldn't even consider it. You know, Hulu Plus I use, ShareFile I use. I was using Dropbox, and I stopped because I told this story. I was using Dropbox to share files with the radio with the KFI, and the production director kept erasing the files. I said, "Don't erase them. I'm sharing with other people." He said, "No, but they take up space on my desktop." I said, "Yeah, but you can't. Please don't." So that was the finals. That was when I said, "Okay, fine. I'll share file them." That was it. Oh, look at that pile of sushi. So, what is your Depends. Should be a sponsor. Sometimes I sit here a long time. I think the NEX7 is great. I happen to have purchased a OMD, Olympus OMD, which I love. Okay, I can only add a few people on Tapped Out because I'm maxed out on Tapped Out. Do not start playing this game, by the way. This is not a recommendation for this game. I will never do an ad for this game. I've wasted my life. Wasted my life on this game. Terrible. So, let me see. I'm going to add Keegan PRZ. I just said, Kevin, it's Snell and Dvorak.
At least. Maybe others. We usually like to have. That's a pretty good pair. Okay, add Keegan PRZ. Let me find you. PRZ. Okay, you're added. Who else? Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk about computers, the internet, cell phones. I was thinking, what are we talking? Cell phones, home theater. In about half an hour, we're going to talk with our photo expert, Chris Marquardt, about digital photography, 33 and a third after the hour. 8888 Ask Leo is my phone number. We've been talking to Valerie in Victorville. Valerie is an attorney. She's using Office. You said Office 365, but I presume you mean Office 2013, which has 365 as part of it, which is their web-based Office. And she does an interesting thing. She stores her documents not on her hard drive, but in the cloud using something called, what was it, iBackup?
iBackup. It maps it as what's called an iDrive. I've been doing it since about 2002 or.
Oh yeah, this is the old iDrive. I remember this. Yeah, I guess they changed their name. All right, very familiar with this company. Yeah.
But what I have to have on the computer is I have to have the program
right
installed.
Right.
Like.
The iDrive program.
What I was saying.
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, you install you download the iDrive program, the iDrive connection or whatever on each computer, but then on each computer, in order to read the data, you have to have the underlying program that the.
Oh yeah, of course. So your question is, if you don't pay for Office next year, what happens? Well, you can't run those programs. Doesn't mean you can't read those documents, however. Because the documents stay, you still have those, but what happens is you have now, my file.docx. You have to have another. If you don't have Office, you'll have to have another program that can read it. There is a free program out there. There's several versions of it called Open Office that will read those files and write them. So if you decided you didn't want to spend the money on Office next year, it's only $100. You probably bill more than that in an hour. But let's say you don't want to spend that money, then you can get the free LibreOffice or OpenOffice, and those will read the Microsoft file formats.
Well, I can't imagine not wanting to get it. And I do believe that what I have is Office 365.
It is. What they did is they merged the two. So if you buy Office 2013, you get Office 365. The 365 was web only, right? You had no software on your hard drive.
And that's what I have.
Yeah.
No software.
But once you pay, if you are paying the $100 a year, you also have the right to download Office 2013. I'm not sure what you're getting, but I believe that Microsoft has merged Office 2013 and Office 365.
Okay.
So you can download a copy. It doesn't matter, if the copy on your hard drive is a little more powerful. But that's fine. Yeah, if you like Office 365, let's see. I'm just looking, and you're probably using the small business or mid-sized business version.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, because they have a home version, but you're not supposed to use that for business. I do. But
I think it's. Yeah, I don't know exactly, but it has all the things that I need.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine not wanting an Office.
But you have a reasonable question, which is, well, what happens if you don't pay the money?
Because I've had that experience with the forms.
Right.
If the following year another company throws me a really good offer, I have in the past said, "Oh yeah, well that sounds really good," and I'd be getting all the forms and less money, and I get the new. The different companies' forms, and I can't read the forms that are all.
I know, isn't that terrible? Well, and that's why I'm not a fan of proprietary file formats for that very reason. But it reminds me a little bit of agribusiness. These GMO'd special varieties of corn that companies like Monsanto sell that you can't replant. You have to buy it every year. They've figured out a way to copy protect corn. And it's the same idea, and I don't like that. I mean, but they'll actually go after you for patent infringement if you dare to save some seeds from the old corn and replant it. You have to buy new corn every year.
Well, with the corn, I do happen to know something about that.
Do you?
Yes. With the corn, it's you do have to buy the seeds every year because it's not sexually reproduced.
Right. It's like a mule.
They have devised a way these big seeds.
Isn't that appalling? It's appalling. They've short-circuited nature so that they can charge you every year, and that's kind of what the form companies are doing.
And you can drive through farm country and tell which are the seeds that are not sexually reproduced because the fields of corn have plants that are all the same size.
They're perfect.
Are all duplicates of another.
There's one copy of DNA. They're clones.
They are.
Isn't that amazing?
Right. I had a case on this some years ago where a plant where somebody was being sued for basically patent infringement. It's called the
because you planted our corn without a license. Anyway, so you understand exactly what these forms, because it's exactly what the forms company are doing. If you don't pay the license for the forms, you can't use them next year. I'm not crazy about that model. However, you're a lawyer. You signed the agreement when you bought the stuff, and that's how they do it. Now, the good news about Office file formats is so far, although Microsoft has tried to do this in the past, so far they haven't prohibited others from being able to read and write these formats. I don't think they will. So the good news is the pleadings, the documents, the things you do in Office today, even if you don't renew your Office next year, will be savable. Now, my advice, if you're really concerned about this, is not to use the Microsoft DocX format. That's their default format. But to use a Microsoft format called RTF, which is absolutely open. And many, 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 many programs will read. It stands for Rich Text Format. And in most cases, all the formatting that you put in there will probably be preserved. You should take a look at it. And Cool Breeze in the chat room is quoting the Microsoft Terms of Service, which says, quote, "Your data is yours. If you decide to cancel your Office 365 subscription, you can download your data, for example, your email and documents on Team sites, and save it to another location. You should save your data before you cancel. All the data is deleted 90 days after cancellation. So if you decide next year, I don't want to pay the $100 a month, or a year. I think it's a little more than that for the business version. It's $12.50 per user per month, or $150. And by the way, I am looking. If you wish, you can download the Office applications onto your hard drive. You don't have to use the web-only version. This new Office 365 Small Business Premium. They just released this SKU about a month ago. You get some other features too with it. I don't mind paying the subscription fee. I have used the home version, $100 a year. I don't mind paying the subscription fee. It's always up to date. I can install on 5 computers. It ain't bad. Valerie, I'm glad you called. Thanks. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. 8888 Ask Leo. Pam is in Laguna Niguel. She's next. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Leo. How are you?
Wonderful. Welcome.
Well, I have a problem.
Nobody ever calls me to say, my life is wonderful, nothing is wrong, everything's working fine. It's okay.
I have a Mac desktop, and just a couple days ago, I started getting a message in several different situations, a blocked plug-in message.
Okay, I'll help you with that. I have a feeling I know what's going on, but stay tuned. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, will be right back. Yeah.
Mark Pelletier of Futures in Biotech, futuresofbiotech.com, says, you don't want GMO plants spreading. They take everything else over. Our show today brought to you by ShareFile from Citrix. Now, I'm going to tell the attorney about this because she really should know about this. I don't know if she's an attorney. She probably does know about the regulations regarding confidentiality and so forth. I still see attorneys emailing stuff. And sometimes they even put that disclaimer at the bottom. If you receive this in error, destroy it immediately. Yeah, good luck. I don't. Maybe it's legal, but it ain't right. If you're sharing confidential stuff, if you're a physician, an attorney, if you're doing anything where you have to send email attachments, stop. First of all, as you've heard me say many times, don't use email attachments. They're insecure. And they're bounce backs nowadays because our file sizes are getting so big. You can't guarantee it's even going to get through. So this is what ShareFile solves. ShareFile is from a company called Citrix. I think you probably heard of them. They're wonderful. It is a business-to-business prep proposition here that allows you can use Outlook. There's an Outlook extension, so it looks just like email, but it's not. What you're sending is a secure link that you control. You could send files of almost any size. Total security. You'll get a notification when the file's been opened, by whom. You can say they have access for a day, a week, forever. You can say how many copies they can download. I mean, you just totally control it. And as you'll see when you start your free trial, go to sharefile.com. Radio listeners, click here, click that button. Our offer code is TechGuy, one word, TECHGUY. But what you'll also see, select your industry, and you'll see the dozens of industries: event planning, financial, food service, legal, manufacturing, photography, printing. Photographer, this would be great for. You want to send the bride, the wedding set? Don't send it via email attachment. Send it via ShareFile. They'll like it. You'll like it. You get a branded portal, which is really neat, so that when, they don't have to sign up for anything. In fact, I'll show you my ShareFile for those of you watching at home. I'll just log into that real quickly. And you'll see it has the Twit logo at the top. I can select a file and share it. You can do this also, as I said, in email. But let's say I want to share a file. I can get a link or actually send the email direct from the ShareFile page. And you have the download access expiry. You have how many downloads, all of this. And then, so I just want to show you what you get. When they get this link in the email, it looks like this. You have your logo. It couldn't be simpler. They don't have to log in. There's a download button. So even for nudniks, and some of your clients may be nudniks. I don't mean nudniks, but computer illiterate folk. This is very straightforward. Try it free for 30 days. Sharefile.com. Click radio listeners. I know we're not in radio, but radio listeners, and then use the offer code TechGuy for Sharefile.com. You will really like it. It's how I share all the files that I send out, day in, day out. Sharefile.com. Nudniks. Are you offended? Only if you're a nudnik should you be offended. You're not a nudnik. Web7860 says, I'm a nudnik and I'm offended. You're a dongle. Oh, no, that's the other. I guess we'll probably talk about that on Twit. We've got Snell and Dvorak, which is fine.
Do you want me to try to contact Denise Howell?
Denise would be great. Love Denise. Dvorak coming in, Snell coming in. Be nice to have.
Let me find out about Snell.
He's local. He's just down he's in Marin. But maybe he'll be lazy.
I think he might be
lazy.
You know what? I don't know.
Well, if Snell is in studio, we probably wouldn't want to have somebody on Skype because then they really are left out. I would love a female voice because of this. You know who might be good is Gina Trapani. See if Trapani will do it. She's been very outspoken on this Adria Richards thing. Yeah. She's had a bad week, too. We want to cheer her up. She says people are insulting her on the online. And now she's also the top 10 sexiest women in tech. I think we should give her a chance to riff on that.
I like that.
She's pissed.
Gina's good. Gina's the queen of dongle jokes. I know, isn't that great? That DeviantArt cover, and he's done more now. I have to find his Twitter. Dwillart, Dwilart. I've got to find him. Dwilart. Do. I gotta follow him. I will follow you. Here's his. What if NSFW were a video game? Did you see this, Chad? Yes. Oh my God.
Click into his user page. He's done all sorts of awesome stuff.
Oh, I love this. Oh, we gotta hire this guy. I gotta hire this guy. There you are, Chad. Yeah. Jason Howell, Tom Merritt. This is the original that just love this. Just love this. She's got, that's blondish red. Strawberry blonde. Her hair changes color daily, so love this. I've never worn a British collar in my life, but I love it. That is awesome. Where can I embed this? So I gotta tweet this guy. Let me just tweet him. Actually, I should retweet. Quote tweet. What if Twit was an animated show? I love it. Padre SJ. It is. It's a very. I like his style a lot. Yeah, he's making bacon pancakes. Yeah. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Kyle Benham, our musical director. Boy, he picks up on the cues fast. I was just saying I should follow this guy on Twitter, and immediately he plays Follow Me. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. 888-827-5536. We were talking to Pam in Laguna Niguel. She's got a Mac, and all of a sudden, she's getting that broken plug-in thing. Is it, hi, Pam.
Hi.
Is it on Flash sites?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I can't get any video on YouTube, and then.
Yeah, that's Flash.
Yeah.
So, and you use Safari as a browser?
Yes.
Okay. It's probably the best thing to do is just to get the standalone version of Flash from Adobe and install it with all browsers closed. Flash is in a kind of a bad situation right now. A lot of people, a lot of security issues. Apple has kind of deprecated it, as you know, on our portable devices. Flash is no longer available for Android. Adobe's taken it off the market. It's being replaced, basically. However, in fact, even on YouTube, if you go to youtube.com/HTML5, there'll be a setting you can say, hey, I don't want to use Flash on YouTube. I want to use the standard HTML5, and you won't even need Flash.
Okay.
But what's happening is Apple's saying you didn't update Flash, and it's a security hazard, so we're just going to block it.
Okay.
So what you need to do is update it. And the easiest thing to do is go to get.adobe.com/flashplayer and download it. It's better to install it outside the browser than there is an in-browser install, but I think it's a good idea just to download the Flash file. It'll go into your download folder, close your browser, and then run the installer as if you're installing an application.
Okay.
That'll update it, and then Apple will let you play. But you'll have to keep it up to date because it's got such security issues. It's just a nightmare.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Pam. I appreciate it. Yeah, not an uncommon problem. Apple does something interesting, which I like. In fact, they just used it today or yesterday to block another piece of malware. They have a automatically updated block list on your computer, on your Macintosh, that silently is updated by Apple to block things, to take away the permission to run things. Now, you may say, well, that's not right. They shouldn't. But what they're doing in every case is blocking malware. So what happens sometimes with Flash is if you have an older version of Flash that isn't fixed, they really want to make sure you don't run that, unawares. You can turn this feature off, but I don't recommend it. I think this is an example of, there's one out now called Yantu, which injects ads into websites. It's for sure malware. So Apple updates its anti-malware definition system automatically, and all of a sudden Yantu will no longer install. That's typical Apple, right? Microsoft will say, hey, we've got a fix, you should update. Apple just fixes it silently. Some people don't like this. You can find the protection list. It's called xprotect.plist, and it has a bunch of things in there that Apple will automatically block from your site. And the newest is this Yantu. 8888 asked Leo, I think this is probably an okay thing to do. People who own Macs expect they own, one of the reasons you own a Mac is you expect Apple to make sure your experience is ideal, right? That's why you buy a Mac. And so that's Apple's attitude. If you don't like that kind of attitude, then there's other choices. There's Windows, there's Linux, there's Android. But if you're using a Mac, I think it's not unreasonable to assume people who buy Macs so that it just works, right? In fact, as a Mac user, I get angry when it doesn't just work. Greg in Camarillo, California. You're next. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, Leo.
Hi, Greg.
Oh, hey. Couldn't hear you for a minute.
Well, I'm here.
I'm an Android user, and I'm looking for a new tablet. I just sold my Galaxy Tab, and I'm wanting the next generation.
Well, the most beautiful one out there is this Google Galaxy, this Google Note. I have to go look and get the name. It's the most amazing. I think it's the Note 2. The Note. What is it called? It's very, very high resolution.
The Nexus 10?
Nexus 10. Thank you. I'm getting old.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
The new one's supposed to be coming out. Who knows? Would you wait? Would you get that, or would you kind of jump ship?
Well, we probably are due for a new one. This Nexus 10 is a while. Is a few. It's almost a year old, I think. And Google does have its developers conference coming up in a couple of months in May. Likely they'll announce a new one in May. This is Wi-Fi only. That would be one reason not to get it. It's also pricey, $399 for 16 gigs, $499 for 32 gigs. But the resolution on this screen is amazing. I just played with one. It's 2560 by 1600 on a 10-inch display. That's pretty incredible. It is a good-looking tablet. And it, of course, has the latest Android 4.2.2, which is something else you've been looking for. So that came out. Okay, came out in October. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new one, but I wouldn't say don't get it because of that. I think this is a pretty amazing tablet. Don't get it if you need 3G. Would be the reason not to get it.
Okay, and what about jumping ship and going with an iPad?
Well, I guess it depends on what you do. I actually prefer iPads to Android tablets, and I'm an Android phone user. So, what do you do? What do you want to do with this?
It's just for fun. I want to read books, movies, that kind of stuff. I kind of like the open source, or to be able to get stuff whenever I want it.
Well, then Android's a good choice for you. This is a gorgeous tablet. The real difference between the Android and the iPad, besides this openness that you talk about, is the apps that are available. And you'll run across apps that are not available on Android that are available on iPad. But if you close your eyes, put your hands over the ears and go, you may not know about them, and then you'll be fine. Most of the stuff you want to do is available on Android now. Android is such a strong platform that developers are paying a lot of attention to it. The real issue is that the big sellers are not the tablets; they're the phones. So the amount of tablet-specific apps for Android is a little bit more constrained.
It's funny because what I look at when I look at Android is, people have Android kind of want stuff for nothing, and people have iPads, and Apple don't mind paying.
Don't mind paying. That's what developers have always said. It's one of the reasons I think some developers prefer to develop for Mac or iPad. I think that's changing. I think really the reason that people develop for the iPad is just they're iPad developers. That's how they do it, and they're used to it. I have a Nexus 7, which for $200 is an amazing 7-inch tablet. Love it. I have an iPad Mini, which is what I use most of the time. I think they're both good.
Do you think they could really improve on the speed that much by, let's say, with the Google going for a 4-core instead of a 2?
I think that's probably, well, this is plenty fast. I think probably what you'll see is 3G or 4G even. That'll be the big change in the next edition. If that's not important to you, I would get the current one, the Nexus 10. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I don't like the Galaxy Note because the touch screen overlay on it really makes the screen less attractive. Link 2013. Blue MM, talk to me. Tell me. What's the deal? Should we run a Link server? Did it just came out? Is that the latest? Microsoft's Link 2013 now available for Windows Phone. iOS app due later this week. I don't care so much about the mobile, of course. Hey, look who's there. It's Chris Marquardt.
Ooh, how are you doing?
Hey, Christoph. Good.
Very good. We're doing an assignment review today.
Oh, yes. Let me get your email so I can...
Yeah, I sent it like 10 minutes ago, so I hope it made its way through.
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ya, da, 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 da.
So you didn't participate in an assignment. I'm so disappointed, but I didn't do it too.
I meant to.
Me too.
I'm bad.
I had a few chances to actually do a picture and I completely forgot, so I feel really bad about this.
I have that nice new camera. I have been taking a lot of pictures with it, but I just never got around. I'm a bad man.
Did you get the mail?
Not yet, but I could go into the. I'll have it.
Okay.
And I'm going to send it to James. Do you CC James or should I?
I didn't.
Okay. I shall forward it to him. Let me see. There it is.
Good.
Yes. So forward to James DeRuvo. Here you go. And let me open these up with the... Ooh, I love that. These are great. I'm glad I didn't take a picture.
Oh, come on.
I'm glad, I tell you, glad.
Well, some of them look so techy, but they are not.
I'll paste the links into the chat.
They're not too hard to do, some of them. Yeah, and then next week we'll be finally back both on DST because Germany is still lagging behind.
Germany is still lagging?
Well, DST changed next weekend.
What?
Yes, we're always behind like 2 weeks. And I looked into that. All the entire planet, it's like all over the place. The whole DST system is so broken.
Oh, we got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
We gotta get rid of it. Did you guys get? I got kicked.
What, from the chat room?
Yeah, because I posted your links. They're very strict in there.
You flooded the channel. No.
I put 4 links in and they've kicked me.
4 lines in 3 seconds. It means you're just too fast.
I pasted. It's fine. I don't care. I don't want to be in there anyway.
You need a slow-paced buffer.
It's time for our photo guy. Chris Marquardt is here. He is a digital photography guru. Comes and joins us every week to talk about digital photography. And one of the things we do with Chris, which, by the way, hello, Chris. Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
One of the things we do with Chris every month is we give you a photo assignment. It's not a competition. It's just a chance to really go out and take pictures. And we, upload them to Flickr and share them with the group, and then we'll pick a few of them each month to talk about. Our assignment this week was
ice.
Ice.
As you can see on the pictures, that there's lots of out of focus glasses full of ice. But
it's gonna, after looking at these, and by the way, you can see them yourself. We'll put the link in the show notes to all of the submissions, but we'll also they're on Flickr if you're a Flickr member, and it's free to do that. All you have to do is be a Yahoo subscriber, and you can go to the Tech Guy group on Flickr and see all the submissions. Submit your own. We'll have a new assignment after this. But you picked 3 to review, and they're so good that it makes me glad I didn't take a picture.
I feel bad I didn't take one either. I had a few chances, but I completely,
Some of these are diamonds, by the way. It doesn't have to be frozen water. Although a lot of them are.
It doesn't have to be, but most of them are. And the ones that I chose
look at these.
Have the frozen water theme. Icy Stare. We had a few out of focus glasses of ice, which I didn't choose. But the majority of the pictures is just wonderful. I mean, we almost got 100 submissions for this. And it's a very lively group. I'm really happy that this is.
It is. Thousands of members, tens of thousands of pictures. Now, the first one is from Don Komarechka. And he's doing a book on snowflakes, which I think is a really neat project.
Yes, and I kind of snuck him in. I know him. He's been doing these snowflake pictures for a few years now, and if you look into what he's doing there, it's very cool what he does with the technology he uses.
I don't know how he does this.
How he shoots them some of them he shoots on a glove, like on the hairs of a blanket glove, so that they don't touch anything and that they don't melt right away. And then of course you have to be very, very good in terms of timing in order to get the pictures.
So everybody knows every snowflake is unique. It's a crystalline structure, and in school we've all done the cutout doilies of snowflakes. But he somehow is capturing these. This is more than macro photography. This is more than 1-to-1, right?
That is almost microscopic, yeah.
Yeah. How is he doing this?
The picture we're looking at here is 2 times the same snowflake from 2 different sides.
Beautiful.
So I don't know how he did that specific one, but he's using, I think, of a macro lens and an extender that you put between the lens and the camera to get even more magnification. And it's just
he is a pro photographer. This is taken with an EOS 1DX,
and he spends a lot of time doing this. I mean, you need a lot of patience to do these kind of things, because I mean, snowflakes, they melt in a fraction of a second.
It's pretty impressive. Very nice. Yes. Well, okay, that's a ringer, because when I look at that, I thought, well, I'm never taking that picture. That's some technical.
Maybe at a lower resolution, you could crop really close into an existing picture and maybe get something.
I will try to do this. This is cool. I would love to be able to take these. Of course, we don't have any snow here.
You want big flakes of snow, I guess.
To
do that.
Here's one. This is called Splashing Ice from a Dollar Girl or DSLR Girl, 1979. And this is a beautiful blue picture of a wine glass with ice splashing into it.
It's one of those where, I mean, first of all, it's a non-standard color, so there's some blue light involved here. It looks like the light was actually colored blue and not the picture in post-processing. Mm-hmm. And then another thing where you just need a lot of time and a lot of practice. We see that glass of ice in front of a black background, so light is probably coming from the side.
She says
flash,
in her notes, backlit for the Tech Guy group. So she's working on this for you. She did this for you, Chris.
Very nice. I appreciate that. And takes a lot of tries to get the splash right and to drop the ice in. And I would think she probably made quite a big puddle in the kitchen when she was trying to do that.
But she's right. She says that every photographer at some point attempts to capture splashes.
Absolutely.
And it isn't easy. It isn't easy. I guess a fast shutter speed.
A fast shutter speed, a flash will help freeze that. And then the black backdrop, if you point that flash in a way that it doesn't hit the backdrop stays nice and dark and just the subject is nicely lit. So that's probably what you did there.
Off camera then probably for the flash,
yes,
right?
Off camera, the flash on the camera will not work because you will end up with the background also being lit and it's not going to turn out right.
Again, a challenging image, one I would never have been able to get. This one I like from Frank Huertas.
Yes.
It's called Ice Phone, and it looks like an iPhone under ice.
I think so. I don't think that he froze his iPhone for that. I
hope not.
But he probably put it under a sheet of ice of some sort, and it's just the structure of the ice. That's another example of backlighting something. And we talked about backlighting in the past. With backlight, you get a lot of interesting things. And the refraction in ice is very interesting. And now he has this very familiar thing, an iPhone, I guess, and the icons on the screen, the colorfulness of that is kind of nicely broken in the ice and refracted in the ice. And that gives the whole thing a very nice structure, a very unusual structure. So it's definitely a picture you're going to look at and go, oh, how the hell did he do that?
You say an interesting thing. Because it's something familiar, the ice is going to distort it. If it were an unfamiliar object, you might be puzzled as to what you're looking at. But the icons and the structure of the iPhone immediately make it obvious. And so I think that's kind of important to this, that you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about what you're seeing.
Brains are pattern matching machines. You see something and you immediately want to make sense of it. So you match it with the first thing that comes along, and you match this with an iPhone for sure. But the unusualness of it with the ice gives it this. You're gonna give this picture a second look for sure. If you flick through the slideshow and you come to this picture, you'll probably go back and look again.
What is that?
It's good. Yeah.
Great images, everybody. Thank you so much. So if people, wow, there's a waterfall frozen. I don't know if that's Niagara Falls or what, but these are gorgeous. If you go to Flickr.com and you search groups for Tech Guy, you can see all of these images. And while you're doing that, maybe you will want to participate in next month's challenge. What is our challenge?
We have another assignment. It's Storm.
Storm.
I'm just choosing that because we have a storm going on right now. It's very windy outside, so I thought, hey, why not make this thing? And again, you can interpret this any way you like. It could be an actual storm, or I don't know. Look at it metaphorically, a storm in a teacup, or lots of different possibilities too.
Yeah, we want to
emphasize. Storming out.
I mean, we're not telling you what to take a picture of. It's whatever you interpret that word to mean.
Exactly.
Now, here's how it works. There's no money in this. It's not a competition. It's a challenge. It's a chance for you to take some pictures. We really just want to give you an excuse so you could tell your spouse, hey, honey, I'm going out. I want to take some pictures. Chris Marquardt gave me an assignment. And in this case,
now it's all my fault.
Go storm hunting. Yeah, exactly. Take your camera. It doesn't have to be a camera per se. It could be a camera phone. Get out there. Some of our best pictures are from camera phones. Take a shot. If you're not a member of Flickr, it's free to join. Upload it to a Flickr, tag it with the word storm, and then upload it to the Tech Guy group. You do have to be a member of the Tech Guy group to do that, but it's all free. So Flickr.com, and we'll put a link on our show notes at Tech Guy Labs to all of the images and also to the 3 images that Chris has just reviewed for us. It's Blame It on Marquardt Day, says Burke in our chat room.
Perfect.
Chris Marquardt is at chrismarquardt.com. He does lots of great stuff. Workshops, you can find it at discoverthetopfloor.com, but also he has a great podcast called Tips from the Top Floor, and that's a must-listen if you're into digital photography. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
We'll talk next week. More of your calls to come. Leo Laporte here, the Tech Guy. Those are pretty. The ice was a good choice. I mean, there's so many beautiful images here.
Oh, yes. And we have a creative bunch out there.
We do.
Really awesome group.
Those snowflakes, I would love to know more about how he takes those pictures. I guess I could find
the internet is an absolute necessity for our
find that
everyday
on the image right there. Where's the
Go
info?
go to the link in the info, and I'm pretty sure he has a website behind that where it talks about it. I had him on Tips on the Top Floor. I interviewed him on Tips on the Top Floor about it a while ago.
So funny. The EOS 1DX is only an 18 megapixel camera. Doesn't that crack you up? With all of the massive pixels. Oh, additional info. Here we go. Settings. F250. I mean, exposure is 1/250th. F4. 65 millimeters. What? So 65 millimeters, huh?
Okay, go to tfttf.com/536.
And he talks about how he does it, huh?
And there's an interview with him and another picture.
It is a macro. He has a 5x. Okay. So he has a 5x macro lens. The MP-E65mm. That's what it is. But lighting's critical, too.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to listen, tfttf.com/536, and I'll get you right to the episode.
Cool. Thank you, Chris.
All right. Talk to you again next Sunday.
All righty. See ya.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Here's the episode, if you're interested, of Pets License Snowflakes. Very cool. Don Kamarechka. Go to my PCs. He's doing a book, too, which is neat. Did you know that the 137th anniversary of the first telephone call was this week? Was that the Watson, come here, I need you? I don't know if that was the first one. But Ring Central is celebrating with some fun facts about telephones. So they did some research and found out that, and this is on the blog at blog.ringcentral.com, 80% of adults now use their mobile phones to text for business. See, when they added to Ring Central, by the way, is our phone system here at the Tech Guy Labs. We love it. It's a cloud-based system, eliminates the PBX, it's very powerful. You can do all sorts of things. And they recently added business SMS, and I thought, I wonder how many people use SMS in business. Well, according to their survey at blog.ringcentral.com, 80%. 32% even close business deals via text. I'll buy that. Thumbs up. That is very cool. Ring Central lets you do text from your cell phone using the Ring Central app that looks like it's coming from your business number. In our case, from our 800 number. And when people text back to that number, it goes right back to you can have a conversation with the cell phone. Go to blog.ringcentral.com for more stats. Celebrate the 137th anniversary of the first phone call. And you may want to check out Ring Central while you're there. Ring Central is the best cloud-based phone system out there. That's why we used it at the Brick House Studios. We really wanted something that was modern. We do everything in the cloud, so why not have a modern phone system? $20 per user per month, including unlimited long distance. Is it unlimited? No, it's not unlimited. It's like 1,000 minutes, though. I mean, it's a huge amount. Really is a great deal. And now, it's 1,000 toll-free minutes per month per account. So that's plenty, believe me. Now, when you buy a phone, they'll get you a second phone free, up to a total of 20 phones. But you got to use our special deal. Go to ringcentral.com. Use the promo code TWIT. This is not for your home. This is for a small business or big business. A lot of big businesses use Ring Central. It is incredible. You can use their smartphone apps. Just really great stuff. I want you to check it out. We've got a 30-day free trial at ringcentral.com. Promo code TWIT. Call 800-543-9980. 800-543-9980. And when you buy one desk phone, you get a second phone free, up to a total of 20 phones if you use our TWIT offer.
Come in, she said I'll give you shelter from the storm.
Storm is our special topic for the Chris Marquardt photo assignment. Thank you, Bobby. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number, 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. of A. Let's get back to the phones. Rob is on the line from Gainesville, Florida. Hey, Rob.
Hi, Leo. first, I'd like to say thanks. You know, a couple of years ago, I was working in a construction industry, and I started listening to your podcast, and I got all this tech information. So I went back to school, and I studied graphic design, and now I'm working at a startup, and everything's great.
I am so happy to hear that. And you enjoy what you're doing?
Oh, yeah, I love it. And, like, I mean, I really give you credit because the information you give me helps me, like, have an intelligent conversation with people about tech in areas that I wouldn't even have normally even known anything about, like security or even the fact that, you know, Linux programmers have neck beards, like all kinds of...
They don't all have neck beards, just many.
many.
Well, I'm so glad that that's worked out for you. That's wonderful. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
so I'm in the world of tech and tech startups and mobile app programming, all this kind of fun stuff. So, but I want to get my daughter kind of on the right track too. She's 10 years old, and I told her, I made a deal with her. If she can get all A's, I'll buy her a computer.
Oh, and she wants one. She's excited about that.
Yeah, well, I think proposing it to her in a contest like that kind of got her more excited. And then if I would just bought her one, she'd been like, oh, that's nice.
No, that's a win-win. That's a win-win. She gets all A's and she gets a computer. That's great.
Right. So, but now she's getting close. Now I'm getting nervous. I'm like,
You might have to buy one.
I have to buy one, you know.
What is she? Does she said what she wants, or have you thought about what you want to get her?
Well, originally she wanted an iPad. We have one in the house, and I'm not going to get her another iPad. I really, I kind of started showing her how to use like Illustrator because she loves to draw. So I want to get her excited about like creating things and working in that environment. I talked to her about maybe making her own web page, and I could show her how to code a simple web page. So
wow. Well, I mean, I would, you know, the iPad's cheap compared to what I'm going to tell you, which is to get her a MacBook Air.
Okay, that's what I was looking today. I'm like, well, MacBook Air.
Yeah, I tell you, kids for kids, this is great. My son, he's a high school senior, but he uses an Air. You know, for a 10-year-old, you could get the 11-inch. That's $1,000. It's very light, which is, you know, it's thin and light, so it feels like it's an iPad, but it's a full computer.
Right.
And I don't think you need to get anything more than the base model for her as she's getting started. But, you know, so she's in what, 5th grade?
She's in 4th.
Fourth? Yeah. Wow, this is great. I mean, she'll probably keep it through 8th grade, which means she'll be using it to write papers and do research and, you know, all of that stuff.
Yeah, we have one of the programmers that works with us is we got him right out of high school. He's 18 years old. He just graduated.
There you go.
His parents are like, you need to go find an internship. And his dad had him start programming at 10. So I was like, you know what?
Now, don't feel like, I mean, first of all, you can't force a kid to become a programmer. You can only give them the opportunity. You know this. Anybody who's a parent understands. You know, you can give them the opportunity, and then your hope is, as a parent, you'll give them a variety of choices, and they'll find something they love.
Yeah, something creative will stick. So
right. I think a computer is a great choice because it is open-ended. Who knows? Maybe she'll be making YouTube videos. Maybe she'll be doing photography. Maybe she'll be a graphic designer. All of those things are available. The computer opens the entire world to her. Yeah, one thing I would do is go and set up an account at opendns.com. You can configure. Oh, good.
Leo? Yeah, we're on the OpenDNS, but yeah, you're right. So it kind of filters a little bit of the internet. It's not completely safe, but at least
it's a lot safer. It's what I did with my kids. I find it adequate, and you know, if you give a kid a notebook computer, then they're going to be able to bring it to their room. You know, some people recommend get a desktop and keep it in a public area. That way, you can kind of keep an eye on what they're doing. It's all about how much you trust your daughter and what you think she's up to. But I have to say, there is an advantage to having a portable computer she can take with her everywhere. She also needs to be pretty responsible. This is an easy computer to lose.
Yeah, there's going to be rules.
Yeah. And you might even want for the first year to tether it to say, yeah, you can use it, but you have to use it here. You know, this is where it belongs. And Dad may look at it and go, wow, I might want to use that.
Yeah.
I do think learning how to program, learning how computers work, this is a good age to do it. In fact, people ask me all the time, when should a kid get into technology? And while, of course, every kid is different, some kids it's 2 or 3 years old, I say 4th grade is really the right time. That's when they start doing real schoolwork. They have to do some research. You know, in California, the kids have to build scale models of one of the California missions. All of that a computer would be helpful with. It's not until 4th grade that really a computer would be helpful with schoolwork, but that's when it starts to become important. Now, another choice would be a Chromebook, but that is, and a lot of schools are using these. It's certainly a lot cheaper. You can get the Samsung Chromebook for $250. That's basically a browser only.
Right. I was trying to find any like vector drawing programs or layered photo programs or anything like that on it, and I didn't see much, but.
Well, anything. The way to do it is to look at Chrome extensions, the browser Chrome, install it on your computer, and look for Chrome extensions. There's a surprisingly large number of Chrome extensions. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a vector Illustrator-style vector drawing program. I know there are photo editing programs, but you're right. I mean, it's not going to be as powerful as a desktop app.
Right.
Illustrator is going to cost you as much as the notebook, though. I guess you probably have a copy of it. You can lend her.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'll give her a copy of Illustrator, but I know in the Mac App Store I could probably get her some little vector drawing program. At least she's in the right, ball game.
I think this is a great choice. It's a little expensive, but boy, I think if the kid is inclined in this direction, I certainly wouldn't hesitate to encourage that. Goodness knows, no matter what she does, being able to use a computer will be an asset.
Well, and she can see where it's taken me, like going from like the job I had, like, having a website.
You're a good role model, Dad. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but that's the most important thing, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about is, there's a lot of freedom in having a computer, and that's pretty young. So keep an eye on her and how she's doing, and maybe have some agreements with her. If she's a good, responsible kid, I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, we'll keep it on a public place here in the house.
I think that's a good start. Yeah, you can kind of keep an eye on her.
Okay, can you check out our website and tell us what you think about it?
Yeah, is this for your business or what is this? Your personal family site? What is it?
No, it's the startup I work at.
Go ahead. What is it?
monkeywish.com.
Monkey Wish.
Yeah.
It's a gift registry. I like the idea.
See?
This is a great idea. Gift registry for holidays, birthdays, or any days. We have these bridal registries, but wouldn't it be nice? I think I've heard of Monkey Wish, actually.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, the idea is you sign up for a registry for any event.
Right, like a lot of kids for birthdays, parents don't know what to get. So.
I like this idea. And you have an app, too. What part of this do you work on?
I do the front end, the graphic design, user interface, and a little bit of front end web stuff.
It's very nice. Very modern.
Very modern.
It's impressive. How hard was this for you to make the transition, Rob?
It took a couple of years of school and just like I said, listening to you, honestly, man, I can have intelligent conversations about the usefulness of Twitter and the modern media and all that.
So we're kind of the beginning school, but you did study graphic design in school?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I studied graphic design. I went back to school.
Good for you. What a nice story, Rob. Congratulations, and I think your daughter is very lucky, and I think it is kind of a smart thing to do. Hey, we should mention before we go, right? Do we have time? How much time do I have, Kyle? Do I have time to do this?
1 minute.
1 minute? I'll save it for the next break. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. If you have a question about anything, I'd love to talk with you about tech. 888-827-5536. It's toll free from anywhere in the U.S. Our website is techguylabs.com. And somebody in the chat room saying you might want to check out the open box stuff at Best Buy. He got a 2011 MacBook Air, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gig SSD for $800. That's a great deal. That's a great deal. And the smaller 2012 was $649. Open box at Best Buy. That's a great idea. And Apple has its own refurb store. Once they open the box, they can't sell it as new, so they really do have to discount it. 8888 Ask Leo. More of your calls right after this. I'm getting the Pixel. I'm gonna really try using the Pixel. And we shall see. We shall see, we shall see. You know, I love Epson and respect them. They make great quality products, including business projectors. Now, they use 3 LCD technology, and there's a good reason for that. You get the highest color brightness that way, 3 times the brightness of leading competitive business models. And brightness means everything. It makes your presence. Yeah, I forced myself to buy one. I may laugh at it still down the road. All right, I'm going to eat some sushi. I'm going to let you look at the studio. Just enjoy this view for a moment. I'll be right back. The best sushi in Marin is Sushi Ron, which is in Sausalito. It's the best sushi probably in Northern California.
This is Premier Channel 7. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, will begin
Highly
at 6
recommended.
minutes past the hour from Premier Radio Network.
And I'm learning right now that you probably shouldn't have sushi on Sunday unless you like day-old sushi. The grocery store doesn't make sushi on Sundays. So I'm having it's not, it hasn't turned or anything, but it's not the freshest
You're
ever.
tuned to Premier Channel 7.
Hey, Evan Dunn. I'm getting over a cold, as you can tell, but otherwise I'm fine. They fly the fish in from Nashville. Yeah, Paducah, Kentucky. If you're not having hush puppies and fried chicken, you just barbecue, you're missing the boat. This is not raw. This is cooked fish. I don't know what kind of fish, but it's cooked of some kind.
You're tuned to Premier Channel 7. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, will begin at 6 minutes past the hour from Premier Radio Network.
But Sushi Ron is amazing. I love that movie, Hero Dreams of Sushi. That'll make you want to eat sushi. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. We're talking computers and the internet and cell phones and camcorders and home theater and MP3 players and GPS devices. Wait a minute, no, not the last two. 80. Everybody's got cell phones. You don't need a GPS device or an MP3 player, right? 8888 Ask Leo. That's my phone number if you want to talk high tech. I'd love to do it with you. Anything with a chip in it, even your microwave oven. We can talk about it. 888-827-5536. That's the number. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. We also have a great website, techguylabs.com. Everything I mention is on the website, so you don't have to take notes while you're driving. Good thing. Just go to techguylabs.com after the fact, and everything will be there. Let's get back to the phones. Joe is in Santa Monica. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Leo. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm pretty good. My computer has had some illness, though. I got a virus.
Uh-oh.
It's called the FBI virus.
Oh, the Money Pack virus.
That's the one.
Yeah. Isn't that a funny one where you get a big screen that says, the FBI has determined you're doing illegal things with your computer. But good news, instead of going to jail, all you have to do is go to Walmart, buy $300 worth of Money Pack cards, and send it to us, and we'll let you off the hook.
That's the same FBI. So I took my computer to Best Buy and had the Geek Squad undo it. They tell me it's probably something coming out of Russia. They're not sure. I had Norton antivirusware in there, but this thing just scooted on past it.
Well, here's the problem with any antivirus. It can't really stop you from doing bad things. And so this stuff, all viruses require you to be complicit in some way. You have to run a program, or if you have an unpatched computer, sometimes they can get that program to run just by visiting a website. But in some way they have to get a program to run on there to install their stuff. So the problem is, of course, that an antivirus, try as it might, really can't prevent you from running programs, because then you wouldn't be able to use the computer. And there's always this fine balance. We see this all the time. People call up and say, I can't do something on my computer, and it's often the security software that's preventing it. Because sometimes security software can be overzealous. So it's unfortunate that you got the virus. I'm glad they were able to remove it. I hope they were able to remove it effectively. Sometimes the real problem with virus removal is sometimes it just makes the virus silent. Yeah, maybe they just got the malware notification and there's other stuff on there and you don't really know for sure.
Yeah. I came across a virus protection company called Marquardt, Bytes.
That's probably what the Best Buy folks used.
Do you know about that company?
Yeah.
What do you think of them?
Go to malwarebytes.org. Very important. There are people posing as Malwarebytes. Of course, if you think about it, if you're a bad guy, the best way to get on somebody's computer is to say, hey, this is going to fix your computer. And you run it. Malwarebytes.org is a legitimate anti-malware program that works fairly well in removing stuff. However, I got to point out that every security expert will tell you the only sure way to know you're not infected is to format the drive and reinstall from a known good version of Windows. And I say that because Malwarebytes may remove some of the infection, may remove the visible part of the infection, but miss other parts. Unfortunately, no antivirus removal tool or virus removal tool can guarantee that they've got everything. And I bet you somewhere in the material Best Buy gave you, they say that.
Probably it does.
It'd be prudent to do so. The problem is reformatting and reinstalling is a weekend shot. So people often opt for this kind of middle ground using Malwarebytes. I almost can guarantee you that that's what the Best Buy folks did. If you Google, FBI ransomware or FBI money pack virus, you'll see a lot of removal routines. But that just removes that. And it just removes a particular version of that. Remember, these guys are making a lot of money on this. So they're highly incented to modify the virus all the time. And in fact, if you think about it, if they got you to run this, whether it was through a phishing scheme or maybe an unpatched, Windows exploit, if they were able to get you to run malware or the ransomware, it's a high percentage for them to get install other stuff too, because they're already in. So they want to put other stuff on there, especially since they know as soon as you see that warning, the smart person's going to take it to an expert and have it removed.
I see.
So there's no guarantee now that you're okay. It's just really a kind of a question about how secure you feel. Did they just gave it back to you and it was all good and all your data was there and all your programs were there and everything?
Yeah. So I bought a year's extension. So if it's still in there and it comes back, I can take it back.
Well, this is the problem. There's different kinds of malware. This malware lets you know they're there. It's ransomware. They say we're going to lock your computer until you give the FBI $300. But that's one form of malware. Another form of malware co-opts your computer without your knowledge and uses it to attack other systems, to create a botnet, or perhaps to forward spam. There are other uses, or the most nefarious use, to watch your keystrokes and periodically send copies of your passwords to the bad guy. None of that stuff will show up, they're not going to pop up and say, oh, by the way, but we're recording all your keystrokes, so don't, just give us all your passwords. They're not going to tell you that. So you kind of are trusting the Geek Squad that they got everything. And you don't know. Yeah. You just don't know. You have no idea because, if it's well crafted, it's not going to announce itself. It's going to be as quiet as possible. There's a thing, and Malwarebytes does have a tool for this. There's a thing called a rootkit This is very clever. It modifies the operating system in such a way that you cannot see the files, the bad guy's files. They're hidden. And if you do your directory listing on the hard drive, it'll list every other file, just not the bad guy's files. It's called a rootkit because it's modified your system in such a way that you can't tell it's there. That's a nice one. The rootkit removal tool on Malwarebytes is pretty good. There are other ones. Microsoft has one, rootkit revealer. But again, that's another class, but it's not everything. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you feel confident that you got it, what you'd like to know, Joe, is how you got it.
Yeah, that's the question.
You might. Well, I'll give you a few things that you got to make sure you do. You do run Windows Update every second Tuesday of the month. Microsoft massively patches Windows. You do that on a regular, automatic basis, right?
Yeah, automatically does it.
Yeah, and because most people do now, Microsoft's really made that automatic. Bad guys are now using third-party software as a way to get into your system, and particularly Java, which has been really bad, Flash, and Adobe Reader. Those are 3 programs that almost every computer has that have not been patched very effectively. And as a result, they're often a vector. And what's nice about all 3 of these, from the point of view of the bad guy, is they get launched when you go to a website that has Flash, Java, or a PDF file on it, automatically in many cases. So you surf the web, you go to a site that has a malformed PDF file on it, a specially crafted one. Your browser goes, I see a PDF. Let me get Adobe Reader to read this. Your Adobe Reader, which hasn't been patched, takes the malformed file and injects a virus into your system, all without your knowledge, permission. It's terrible. I would love to get Twit shows on Hulu. You can get it on TiVo. We'd have to make a deal with Comcast and Hulu, and you know what? This is probably an opening to do that, frankly. So I will let you know. I know. I'm really happy to have them on. It's great. Yeah, Marvin, I decided to give up on the beard. That was a bad idea. Bad idea. Yep. I haven't watched Spy on Hulu. I will. Thank you for the recommendation. I have both Netflix and Hulu Plus. In fact, I was saying I set up my mom with the Roku 3 and a TV, and she doesn't need it. She won't need cable. She's got the Hulu Plus and the Netflix, and she's got Amazon, and she's got Vudu. You don't need cable anymore. It's kind of amazing. Beard lasted 1 week. Down on the bayou. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Tony in Santa Clarita, California. You're next. Hi, Tony.
Hey, Leo. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
Question on XBMC, the media streaming program.
Yeah.
You're aware of that?
Oh, yeah. I love XBMC. And its derivatives like Plex. But,
right.
Yeah. So what's going on?
I just was wondering about the legal part of that program, because I know.
Well, XBMC doesn't do anything legal or illegal except give you a chance to add channels and things. You can use it certainly to play pirated stuff all the time. So it's really up to you how you use XBMC.
Right.
XBMC itself is not illegal. It is a open source port of, in fact, XBMC comes from Xbox Media Center. It's gone long way beyond that, but that's where it originally started. And what it is a lean-back interface for consuming media on your computer, basically. And it's I just think it's gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah, no, the interface is nice, and the stuff you can do with it is, it's amazing.
So there's no legality. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't particularly stop you from doing illegal things. For instance, if you have a hard drive filled with pirated movies, It'll scan them, put the album art or the DVD art up, all the information, add it to it. It'll look like a completely legitimate video jukebox, but it doesn't make any assumptions about where that came from. That's up to you.
Right. There's a bunch of add-ons that you can add on there.
Right.
That you could watch older movies.
Yeah, there's BitTorrent plugins and so forth. Yeah. So yeah, I am a big fan. Frankly, I like Plex a little bit more. It's a little bit more polished, but both are excellent. They keep them up to date. They're free. They're open source.
Right.
It's. It's like a DVR or a VHS player. It's just a player.
You know what? I was having problems where I can't. I have it on my computer, but my laptop has a HDMI connection that I hook up to my TV, but I can't get sound out of my TV from it for some reason.
Huh.
I don't know if there's some settings in that program.
Yeah, it's probably that. I'm not sure about. That is probably a settings issue. HDMI, the digital interface, carries both audio and video, and I'm not sure why the sound isn't coming along. You might look at the settings in the television, make sure the TV is expecting sound via HDMI. It's possible on the TV that you have it set to get its sound from another source, like the optical input, and that's not an unusual thing to do. So make sure your default sound output is on XBMC is HDMI TV. And so that so that XBMC is saying, yeah, put the sound out through HDMI, and then make sure on your TV that it's expecting you to get sound over HDMI. In both cases, it's just a setting. Lumpy in the chat room says, make sure the sound out on the computer is HDMI as well. That makes sense, right? Your computer can output it in a variety of places. Bill in Manassas, Virginia. Hey, Bill, Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, Leo, big fan. Wanted to give you some fast praise that I'm a police officer, county police officer, and you make my day go by with the Twit Network podcast as I drive around and listen.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that.
I like to think I've turned on a few criminals to your program.
Oh, you make them listen in the back?
Oh, absolutely. They listen to what I listen to.
That might be part of the torture.
I'll have to ask them if it's cool and unusual.
That's good. Now, get them a little education. That's a good idea. Give them a skill. I like it.
When you create a contact, either like on my Android phone or in Gmail, you can upload somebody's picture. So if they call you, you can see who's calling. If they don't have their own picture already uploaded.
And I do that. I love that because then I just look at the phone. Never while I'm driving, officer. But I can glance at the phone and say, oh yeah, that's my daughter calling, and it's nice, and it's also kind of just a nice feeling.
Yeah, and you can even pick a goofy picture if you
yes, I have done that. Yes.
But a couple of years ago, I lost my phone, and I noticed that the pictures are still there. So obviously, the pictures are on a Google server somewhere.
Right.
How can I get the pictures back? How can I re-download them?
Oh, that's an interesting question. That is they're stored at contacts.google.com. I also, in most Android phones will do this. If you tie in your Twitter or Facebook or both, we'll pull images also from them. So a lot of the people I, correspond with, their image comes from other sources. That's a good question, though. I see an image of my daughter that it wasn't, I no longer have that image, but it is part of the contact. How do I get it from there? I don't see a way to do that. Maybe somebody in the chat room knows. There is a Google has a data takeout, they call it, the data liberation front, where they say that everything can be taken out of Google. You don't have, they don't have a lockdown on anything. So I would guess that Google Takeout might give you that. Let's see if contacts, how you would do Google Takeout on the contacts. If you go to google.com/takeout, you'll see a contacts entry there. If you've been using contacts, you can create an archive of all that data. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing.
Right. I posted a question to, I guess it was their help forum, and never got an answer, and somebody else chimed in that they were also interested in answer to the
It's
question.
a great question.
Just nobody's ever responded.
Yeah. I would go to google.com/takeout. You'll be downloading everything, which is unfortunate. I'm even getting stuff that I posted on Google Buzz. But somewhere in that file, there's going to be a zip file. There'll be a lot of images, and one of those images will be, I betcha, the images from the contacts list.
Well, fantastic. I'll give it a shot.
Thanks, Bill. Great to talk to you. Thanks for your service. Manassas is a legendary name, of course, in American history.
Yeah, come on down. I can show you the battlefield. No problem. I can get you in for free.
I'd actually like to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Great to talk to you.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, Google's philosophy is, and they need to do this because, of course, they have a lot of our information. And I commend them for this because, until they did it, Twitter now does it. Facebook now does it. A lot of these companies would take your stuff and just keep it. Facebook only recently allowed you to download all your Facebook material. If you go to dataliberation.org, and I know some of these guys, I've met them. That's the site for how to move your data into and out of Google products. And I think that's really great. There is more information there, Bill, at dataliberation.org on how to get stuff out of Google. If they've got a picture that you want, I can't imagine that that's not available through their takeout. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Manassas. Oh, I forgot the Not 32. I will do it first thing. Now, I tried to do the same thing on Facebook the other day, and it said, nope, can't do it. It broke. I don't know if that's because I have so much stuff or what. It's odd. Let's see if there's anything personal. No. So it says here, download a copy of your Facebook data. It's in settings, name, start my archive. But this failed the last time, so I don't... Maybe it'll work this time. It didn't pull the pictures. Huh. Why wouldn't the contacts are stored in vCards? If you download the vCard, do you get that information? He just doesn't think it's worth $7.99. I asked him, I said, you don't think they're evil or anything, do you? He said, no, I just don't think they're worth $7.99. I said, well, that's, everybody has a different opinion on that one. But that's fine. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't want to pay the money, that's fine. I don't care. It pulled the vCards, and the vCards don't have images in there. It's in the API. That's interesting. So somebody could write a program to do this. Huh. Well, this wouldn't be hard. This would be easy. How interesting. To retrieve a contact's photo, send an authorized GET request to the contact's photo link URL. Yeah. Yeah, he can use this.
Okay, do you want me to make a new user?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a better one, I think. Is he having trouble with that black one?
Well, he's just complaining.
That one's pretty old.
It's really old.
Yeah. He could use that, or if he doesn't want to, he could use this Windows 8 machine, and I'll use that. Okay. And when I get the Pixel, we'll keep the Windows 8 machine for John. Force him to use Windows 8. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Bill called us and said, how do I get, this? Actually turns out to be a good question. How do I get the the pictures out of my Google contacts. This might have happened to you, too. If you've ever assigned a picture to a Google contact, that picture's kind of preserved across phones. He says, I don't have the original picture, but I see that picture every time somebody calls me. Is there some way to get the picture out? And I thought maybe you could use Google Takeout. I was pretty sure you could use Google Takeout to do it. Somebody in the chat room just tried it, said, no, you get a V card, but not the image. Well, and now if you're a computer programmer, there is a way to do it. You can write a program. There is an API, a programmer's interface to Google Calendar or Google Contacts that lets you do a simple GET request and ask for the image. I'll tell you what, we'll put in the show notes, Bill, if you're so inclined, a link to the API on Google's page and a Stack Overflow, which is a great programmer's website, Stack Overflow thread on getting a contact's photo using the Google API. Somebody's trying to do it, had trouble doing it. And now maybe somebody, this would be a good, you know what, maybe it'd be a fun project for me, maybe in my copious free time, to write a little program that would just go through your contacts one by one, download all the images. Wouldn't be hard to do. In fact, Scooter X has found a little Python script that will do exactly that. For that, to love the chat room. So you'd have to have Python on here. This is from J-DII's blog. Google Contacts does not yet import photos embedded in VCF files during import from an existing address book. Oh, this goes the wrong direction, Scooter. This one takes the picture and inserts it into Google Contacts. But it wouldn't be so hard to write a little program that extracts them. Be kind of fun. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number if you've got a solution for Bill. It's a good question. And I'm sure Bill's grateful because those images that he lost have been preserved in the context. Now, that probably won't be very high quality, but at least you'd have it. Back to the phones we go. Robert is in Tustin, California. Thanks for hanging on, Robert. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
How you doing today, Leo?
Very well. How you doing?
Doing all right. Having a little bit of fun blowing out servers on my internal network.
And why would you be doing that, Robert?
Well, I'm considering one of two different things. Number one would be purchasing multiple VPS systems out on the net and hosting a help desk ticket system. Or, since I've already got them running in virtual machines anyway, upgrade to a business class internet connection and host them myself. And I'm wondering which would be the better and or cheaper option.
So I have to kind of understand and this is a very high-end question, folks, so if you don't understand it, I don't blame you. I barely do myself. VPS, rather, is a virtual private server. You're running servers for what purpose?
It's going to be a tech support and computer repair business
Got
I'm
it.
planning on starting up.
Got it. You know, generally speaking, we don't run any of our servers locally, and we run quite a few servers, both web servers, video, and so forth, because it's just we don't have enough fat enough pipe, for one thing. It's a lot easier to put the content on a dedicated hosting system and let them do it. Is there some reason you want to run your servers in-house?
Well, I mean, I've already got them set up and running a fully qualified domain name already on the internal network via a DNS server that I created.
Okay. So it sounds like you know what you're doing. What is the issue?
I'm trying to figure out which would be the cheaper option, or ideally, could there be a mix?
Cheap. Okay, so which is the cheaper option? Well, cheap is doing it yourself. You probably need to get a special ISP. Most consumer ISPs won't let you do this, but a business class ISP would. I presume you have a business ISP.
We are currently on Time Warner's residential service.
Yeah, see, they don't like you to run servers on these things. They'll.
Oh, right. These all redirect internally, so there's no outside exposure.
Oh, I see. These are not public servers. This is an internal server.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you're doing. Well, then that makes sense what you're doing. I thought you wanted a public server, public-facing server. This is just for people at work to use.
Yeah, basically.
And you said, what is the cheaper? What are you? I'm not sure what you're looking for. What are your choices?
I'm asking around on Twitter, and people are suggesting Linode and other VPS hosts.
I see. But that's an external host. You want to host it locally, which is free.
Yeah.
So just do it locally, and it won't cost you anything. And especially if you don't have a public-facing server, there's no reason not to do this locally. If I were going to, run a ticketing system here inside the Brick House, that'd be simple. We do it. I should mention it. It would be remiss if I didn't mention GoToAssist. Not the cheapest solution, but maybe the easiest solution. GoToAssist is a sponsor, so I should give you that disclosure. They're run by Citrix. They have a very powerful help desk solution that is hosted, so it's external. Gives it one advantage, which is it is available outside your network. If you run this internally, it won't be available to somebody on the road. But their service desk does the same thing, but it's hosted by them. So it's a cloud solution, and it's accessible from both inside your network and outside your network. And it's pretty affordable. I don't know how much a month it is, but it's not a lot. And has some real advantages. You can also do change management, release management, as well as ticketing and tracking incidents. If you're it sounds like you're in a business where you're doing managed services, or you're doing IT and support. This is a really good choice for somebody who's doing that. And I'll just disclaim that is a sponsor, but they do a great job. So cheapest, doing it yourself internally, running your own software, certainly doable. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. No idea why he was calling me to ask that question. And I didn't really understand the question. It's an internal network. I don't know. Spiceworks. Yeah, we've actually mentioned them before as a ticketing, open source ticketing program. I think we mentioned a few of these, right?
Don't send attachments, use ShareFile. ShareFile. It's important to every kind of business. ShareFile from Citrix sends your attachments as securely.
He will if he gets spooked, but he's pretty quiet. What's he doing now? Just wandering around looking for food? Ozzy's a very domesticated animal. He barked in the middle of the night last night, woke me up. But so if he hears birds or animals, he'll bark. If you make a sudden sound, he might bark. But generally, he's very comfortable here. And yeah, this is one of the great things about having him come in here is he's gotten very used to people. He's really comfortable with everybody now. Which is nice. It's very nice.
Stamps.com, it's a quick and easy way to get
about half a mile we walk in, Ozzy and I. Yeah, it's nice. I drove today because I have to run out of here, but normally I walk in.
With my computer, my print, I don't need a postage meter. Stamps.com will even send you a digital scale that calculates the exact postage you need for any class of mail.
He just stands there. He's not a big dog. He's not like some small dogs are real barky. He's not real barky. He's not real nervous. He's very happy here. About 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly.
Including that digital scale I mentioned and up to $55 in free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in my name, Leo. That's Stamps.com. Use my name, Leo. Then stop going to the post office. Enjoy life with Stamps.
So coming up, we're soon to be out of beta with our YouTube show. It's Lamar Wilson, Chad Johnson, and myself. This week in YouTube, we're working on album art, music. He didn't like the music though, right? I think he hated the music. Let me see what it sounded like. Where do we get that music? Dan Looters.
Is this not cheerful? Let's hear it. Let's hear how cheerful this is. That's pretty cheerful. He thinks it sounds too much like a video game? Fast forwarding Tetris. Yeah, so we don't like that. Okay. Okay. It should be whimsical and about video somehow. But definitely not 8-bit. Well, Dan can do any style at all. I think he was going for Nyan Cat. We could just use Nyan Cat.
All right, Leo, stamps.com, Billboard, Carbonite, your last live read.
Thank you, sir. That's Wreck-It Ralph. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. David in Los Angeles. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, David.
Hi, how are you, Leo? Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
I have a question. I am running Windows 7, Home Premium Edition, I believe it is. And I got my Windows, and I'm using Windows Essential, Security Essential.
Good.
It said that it detected virus, JS, I'll spell it out for you, SEEDABUTORE.
Okay.
And ever since then, I'm getting dependency service failure message, host process failure message, a variety of different error codes. I mean, you name it. And I downloaded that malware bytes.
Yeah.
And luckily, it keeps on telling me that it has stopped outgoing. I guess my computer's trying to.
So what this Trojan horse is a JavaScript program that tries to modify what web pages you go to.
Well, it's not. I have no idea how I got it, but the biggest problem I have is it won't let Microsoft Security Essential to update, even in safe mode.
Right. A lot of viruses do this. They either prevent you from updating your virus or prevent you from running it or prevent you from doing any research. So you got a bug.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the computer is, I think it's called the Best Buy brand, Asus. And it didn't come with a disk. I tried to reinstall the Windows, but it keeps on asking me for the disk.
Oh, boy.
And I was going to go ahead and...
Asus usually has you make a recovery disk. I don't know if you skipped that step, but you probably have a recovery disk maker in your accessories folder, the programs folder.
I do that because I do have a burner.
Yeah, burn those recovery disks. They will not be impacted by this. And once you burn those recovery disks, the best way to fix this is just to wipe the whole thing out, especially since you're now getting all of these additional problems. I don't know if that's... See, one of the things that happens with a malware removal tool like Malwarebytes or Security Essentials is these virus authors attach their code into critical system files. And removing them surgically is not always possible. Sometimes it kills the patient. The file gets damaged, and now your computer is going to have all sorts of problems. So and I think that's what's happened is that in an effort to remove this C-debuter, the programs inadvertently damaged your system.
System restore is not recommended. A lot of people say, I could just, I have a system restore point. I could just go back in time. Sometimes that works, but good virus authors will make sure that system restore point is also compromised. That's easy. Remember, these guys have a huge incentive, a financial incentive to get on your computer and stay on your computer, in many cases without your knowledge. So that's why I just got to say it again. You can take half measures. Understand they are half measures. Trying to remove it with malware bytes or security essentials, doing a system restore or a system recovery, overwrite. One of the things would be to run malware bytes, remove the software. Maybe your system isn't working right. Now run Windows recovery process to replace damaged files. Your system, you might be able to get your system back on its feet, but what you never will know is it safe? Is it safe? And so I'll just tell you what security experts say to me over and over and over. The only way to ensure you don't have bad stuff on your system is to wipe it out, format the drive. I hope, back up your data first, but format the drive and install from a known good source. Those restore disks, if you make those, I think those will be all right. I don't think the virus will impact those. Well, maybe they will, though. Illuminati in our chat room says, no, it's easy to infect restore partitions, too. That's why you make those recovery disks first. I tell you. It's a scary world we live in. It really is. And people say, well, I don't know how I got this. And it may have been completely without your knowledge. If the way this stuff, all bad guys have to get a program to run on your computer. That is a requirement. They can either do it by tricking you, by saying, hey, here's a fix for the problem you have. This will fix everything. You run it, and that actually is the malware. They could do it by finding a hole in the system, and there are lots of them, not just in Windows itself, but in programs you run. As I mentioned, Flash, Adobe Reader, Java have all had major problems this month. This month. I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about this month. And since people don't update those automatically, those are often very good targets for bad guys. But somehow they've got to get you to go to a website. Maybe one of the side things that these bad guys do is they find legitimate websites that have their own security flaws. They take advantage of those flaws to inject bad stuff on those websites so that when you visit the website, the bad stuff gets copied to your computer and activated. They're clever. And in order to protect yourself, you have to become a security expert. There's lots of things you can do, and if you know what you're doing, you can probably keep yourself safe, but you have to be very, very careful. You have to be absolutely religious about making your system updated, updating all these third-party programs, paying attention to security problems. We have a security program, good to listen to, Security Now, every Wednesday, that we talk about what are the latest attacks. Keep up on that stuff. Yeah, you have to be a security expert. Who has time to do that? Having an anti-malware solution on there, like Microsoft Security Essentials, which is fine, is not in and of itself enough. Your behavior, too. It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. Debug is saying, and I think this is true, in general, you do not want to run as an admin. However, unless you've turned off user access control on your Windows machine, you aren't running as admin. Even if you have an administrative privileges login, and I use an administrative, I don't run as a limited user. It's too limiting. But the whole point of user access control on all Windows systems since Windows XP is that whenever something tries to do something that an administrator needs to do, it asks you. It may even ask you for an administrator login. That's good. Pay attention to those UAC warnings. Don't just go, yeah, whatever, go ahead. If you turn off Windows UAC, you don't update your system, you will get a virus. You will. Randy, Westlake Village, Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, Leo. How are you today?
Oh, great, Randy. How are you?
Oh, a little frustrated with my Mac.
Oh, no. I'm going to frustrate you even further because I hear the sound that says we're out of time for the weekend. Randy, we're going to get your information. And we'll get you on first thing next week. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Darn it. Oh. Well, that's it for the Tech Guy Show for today. I'm Leo Laporte. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, the Tech Guy is just the tip of the iceberg. We do nearly 30 shows now on the Twit Netcast Network, and you'll find them all at twit.tv. We talk about Windows on Windows Weekly, Macintosh on Mac Break Weekly, iPad on iPad Today. You get your daily dose of tech news from Tech News Today, and our weekly roundtable show, This Week in Tech. It's all at twit.tv. And I'll be back next time with another great Tech Guy podcast. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.